Good morning. My name is Sorel Ketan. I'm your host today, along with my co-host, Giovanni Gonzalez. We are the co-founders of the Daily Huddle, a trifecta of giving that has not stopped since March 2020. I'm grateful for that. So grateful for you being here, whether you are listening live or watching us 15 years from today, 50 years from today, even on YouTube. We stream live at the Daily Huddle. And today we have a phenomenal conversation for you. If you are in business or considering doing it, being in business, you are very likely thinking, oh my God, how am I going to maximize social media? How am I going to maximize digital marketing? What the hell is SEO? How do I create access to my favorite customers and make money being in business? Well, this conversation is for you today. We are digging inside this question. Is your digital marketing strategy working for you or against you with your brand new friend, Mr. Matthew Silverman?
Thank you
Matthew,
for the intro, Sarl.
I'm going to
Yeah,
say a little bit about you. It's just going to be the tip of the iceberg about who you are and what you do and why you do it. And in the conversation that ensues, our world, our audience will get to know you as the friend that I admire and look to create a lasting relationship with. So Matthew has been practicing the fine art, and I'll add the science of digital marketing for nearly 20 years. He's worked with really small businesses, like one person, or very large corporations like the Home Depot, the owners of websites, and some of the largest companies. His practice focuses on SEO, digital ads, Google ads, and other search ad platforms, Facebook and Instagram, and other social platforms, including LinkedIn and email marketing. So, all of that to say that you are in business and you're looking to connect directly in a very significant and meaningful way with your customers, it pays to understand and know how to do that using digital marketing. And Matthew Silverman is generous to be with us today to help us look into some of the nooks and crannies of digital marketing, like some of the biggest mistakes that business owners make. Uh, how do you truly get value out of your marketing dollars? And what are some smart strategies to connect with in 2025? So, Matthew, it's great to have you. Welcome to the Daily Huddle. Thank you for being here.
thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. And as you said, practicing, I think that's the key word there because you're never really sitting on your laurels, being okay with whatever's going on. Like just this morning, I was checking the news while I was eating breakfast, and there was a Google update where there was a bug in Google Ads. And I'm like, oh, stuff keeps changing, and things are always changing. And I think that's the context of the whole conversation is that where your customers are, you're trying to find where they located, and they change. It used to be they would hang out at coffee shops, and then it was um, Facebook or MySpace before that, and now it's LinkedIn and YouTube and other places. So you want to be where your actual customers are, and that might change. It probably will
Yeah,
change.
yeah, absolutely. And I know your expertise is deep in that realm, Matthew. And I want our audience to get a little bit of you, get to know you. Uh, Tell us a little bit about where you came from, how you arrived at being the expert you are currently in digital marketing, and why you love the space so much. Give us a little
Yeah,
origin story.
absolutely. So I did my undergrad in majored in MIS, minored in marketing. And that's basically digital marketing, where you're understanding how computers work. You understand marketing theory. I did a class in advertising, did a couple of psychology classes. And I think that putting all that together, that is digital marketing, where you're understanding how people work, what they're concerned about. Frequently, I refer to Maslow in LinkedIn because I think that a lot of the hierarchy really applies to everybody. Everybody's got something in there where if I'm selling something and I know that this is something that you are concerned about or insecurity about, or you have concerns, whatever it is, I can pitch it better because I know who my audience is, and then I can target better, saying, "Oh yeah, I'm selling." Let's say, for example, a couple years ago, I worked for a real estate company selling first holder liens,
Mm.
and this was we're selling it to accredited investors who have a lot of money to invest. So the concern there for them would be, are you diversifying your portfolio? And that's a big concern of theirs. And addressing them that way instead of, do you want to invest? Do you want to put $100,000 down? No one really wants that. It's more of the big concern, what keeps them up at night. So that's a lot of the things that I'm constantly doing is reevaluating, trying to figure out how to make things better, how to work better with clients, how to help clients understand what's going on. I see myself as more like the practicing doctor where I don't always know the answer, but you have to find the answers. Answers constantly changing. Um, Last week I had a conversation with a business owner and they were asking about Facebook ads and LinkedIn ads and Google ads. And some of the answers, well, I'm not sure. I need to go research and find out because things change. Editorial policies change. Even the way that the engines might say, oh, yeah, we will treat a specific business this way. That might not be true once you actually launch the ads and they start running the ads through the filters and editorial policy review. And it's like, oh, no, these ads are not good, or maybe those other ads are good. So it's definitely a lot of learning and testing and trying to figure out like how do we constantly be on top of stuff.
And the way you're speaking, it sounds like you will nerd out in no time at all and all of that because you love it, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what nurtured or even created your love for the space.
So my dad used to bring home engineering magazines. He's a electrical engineer, and I love reading through the magazines and looking at the actual print ads because they're fascinating, selling these really boring products like integrated circuits and resistors and LEDs and stuff like that. But whoever their creative department is or ad agency, they made it look exciting. And that's where a lot of this, I think, started, is starting with that like really crazy stuff. And I've always looked at ads and love ads. Over the years, I remember getting like Wired magazine and some of these other magazines, and there used to be like 200 or 300 page magazine editions, and the ads were fascinating. I think better than the articles.
So you're like this kid. See, in my days, I used to pick up the Sears catalog. Uh,
Right, same thing. Yeah.
being from Haiti, I'd pick up the Sears catalog and I'd leaf through it and just mesmerize. So there's that for you, and then there is the way you connect with your clients. Could you take us not a day in the life, but let's say you just start with a client and they're wherever they are, and you take them through a journey and they end up with what is an advertising program that works for them and produces results for them. How do you go about creating that journey with your clients? And why is it the way you have it?
It's a great question. It's really difficult because not every business can or should advertise online. And that's really difficult, I think, for small business owners to internalize when someone says, no, I don't really think Google ads will be good for you because of a variety of different reasons. I had a call with a agency owner 2 weeks ago. One of their clients is a lawyer and they're looking to advertise for a very specific subset of law. And I looked into Google just to see like what does the traffic look like? How expensive is it? And the CPCs were through the roof. It was anything from like $100 on the low end side to $400 on the high end side.
You just
And that
said
was
see, Matthew, for the rest of the world, translate that for us.
so that's each individual click would cost the business anything from $100 to $400
So cost per click.
cost per click, which to me indicates it's very competitive. There's a lot of people bidding in that space. They've bid up the price of the traffic, and it might not be worth it. You need to literally secure a closed lead, a closed deal pretty frequently to pay for that level of traffic. People searching, clicking, searching, clicking. Um,
So let's speak a little bit to the small business, an entrepreneur, maybe a team of one or a team of three. When looking at using digital ad to connect to potential customers and sell to them, uh, how do you go about figuring out what's right for a specific business?
So it starts with a lot of conversations. I think the first conversation is understanding who their customers are, where their customers are located, how their customers want to be contacted, or how you can contact their customers. And then from there, starting to build out more of a skeleton of a plan, saying, well, if you're, for example, a medical customer, medical company, and you're looking to medical clients, where are your clients? Where can you advertise? Where can't you advertise? How can you do it? What makes sense? Because some things due to laws, you makes it difficult. If you're selling, say for example, books or notepads, you're unlimited. You can sell and advertise wherever because there's no one really cares as long as you don't spam them on email, spam them on text messaging. Like you can put ads out there as much as you want. Um, but the goal for that initial first conversations is start building out what is the best thing for them, building out a model of, well, if we get X number of people in to your marketing funnel to see the ad, and Y% of people actually click through to your website, and you have a conversion rate of X, well, how much money are you going to make? Is this ROI positive? Is it not? Does it make sense? It might be that some companies are selling products that are either too expensive and your traffic flow needs to be pretty high in order to get sufficient number of people in there to say, oh yeah, one person will convert and it pays for the whole program. Or maybe there's just not enough margin in the product to actually afford advertising. So then in that situation, I would say, well, let's try organic. Let's try other avenues to get in front of the right customers so that it's maybe less expensive or maybe longer term. Um, Digital ads are fascinating. It's kind of like a billboard. And imagine a billboard in Times Square or on the side of any highway. And as long as you keep paying for the digital ads, that billboard stays there. But as
Mm.
soon as you stop paying, the billboard just vaporizes. It's gone. And people think very much, oh, I'm renting space. I've bought this. Not really. Everything's a billboard. Everything's digital. As soon as you stop investing in it, it's gone.
So there's no cookie cutter way
Not at
to
all. Yeah.
look at this. So Giovanni Gonzalez
Hmm.
has loves to say, Sorrel, we're getting dangerous with marketing. There is a combination of not just the technical vehicle to place an ad, but how you craft the ad, graphics, copy, and all of that good stuff. I want to invite you to come in, Gio, and let's dig into that a little bit. What are you hearing so far, and what would you like to ask Matthew?
Thank you, Sorrel. Matthew, yeah, thank you for being here. I'm quite passionate about this subject. Peter Drucker said, "Business is only marketing and innovation," and
Right.
I used to ignore
Drucker.
I,
He's great.
and I used to ignore that until I got my own business, and then it was like he's right. One of the aspects that I like that you're saying is not everyone needs to be on not every business can be empowered by social media, and and I really like that you said that, given that a lot of marketing agencies use the the social media aspect as a hook for the lottery ticket for businesses. And it really depends. It really is not. So I like your authenticity in that. I was going to ask you if you had like an example of a business that you were able to, I don't know if the right word is turn around or create some significant results. And you could kind of give us an insight of the strategic thinking that happened. Like something like, well, this is this business in this industry, this is what they were doing. And then when we started looking at this and we implemented this game, this strategy, then it gave us this kind of results. Do you have like a, and the reason why I'm asking that is, can you have an example where it sort of gives us an insight of how to think like business owners?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the two Best examples I've got is a couple years ago, I was working for a promotional products company, and that I think was a year before, 2 years before, I attended a conference in downtown Atlanta called it was ABM, or account-based marketing. It was put on by the founder of Terminus, um, and the whole theory about account-based marketing is on a B2B side. Say you're selling something to Emory University, or pick any large corporation. So Emory is $1 billion non-for-profit university, hospital chain, all this other stuff all put together. And most companies sell to one or two, maybe three departments. But there's probably like 200 or 300 departments there. And they're all separate. They'll have a separate like gatekeeper at the front, separate P&L, separate budget, separate credit cards, all this stuff. But they all have the same email address, but they're all separate. So what I pitched to the CEO of the company I was working for was, we're selling into only a small fraction of what we could. Let's sell into the rest. Let's take the model of who's our target market, who's the person we're getting in front of, who's the buyer, and extrapolate across the whole organization and advertise to all these other people. Um, and the theory works because you're basically taking data science, saying what are the personas of this person. You're taking advertising theory, going with enough impressions, getting with the right message, getting it at the right time and all that stuff. You're doing marketing theory or promotional and all the 4Ps and stuff. And you're using technology and you're pushing it out there. So we did a small test. I was given a small budget. We did a win-back campaign of customers that were older than 2 years old. It wasn't Emory, but it was other customers. And we did a direct mail piece. We did an email blast, LinkedIn posts, and the sales team were going to call all their people on the list. After 6 weeks, we had a 10-to-1 ROI on the net cost we spent. And that's only the first 6 weeks. That doesn't include any net calls after that. So it works. I mean, it was a pretty turnaround. I wanted to do the rest of the business. They didn't want to do it. They weren't comfortable with it for whatever reason, but whatever. The other example is I
Hey,
worked for,
Matthew,
yeah.
pause for a moment. You said it works, right? And
Hmm.
I the whole string, but in the context of getting the listeners to think like business owners and maybe get a sliver of the art and science that you practice, what did you see that gave you an insight? And what was different other than a lot of emails, a lot of impressions, and a lot of people calling their contacts?
Well, let me add to that question, Sora, a little bit. Because what I heard Matthew was saying, this company was already had a customer inside of a large organization.
Right.
And so Matthew was saying, well, let's find more sub departments of large organizations that look like this one.
Exactly.
Uh, and so that sort of they created the buying persona based on the customer that they already had. And what inside of that question that Sorel is asking you, how, when you discover, oh, well, you already have a buying persona, there's already thousands of clients like this ones, how did, having that buying persona, where did you go to buy a list of customers like that? When you go to LinkedIn, did you guys did through Sales Navigator? When you go to Facebook, did you guys look for a particular target audience of people whose interests are this ones? How did you guys develop this sort of prospect possibility list, if you will?
Yeah. No, great question. So Sangram Vahi, he wrote ABM for Dummies. He was the guy who started Terminus. And literally, I got copies of the book and I was thumping it in the office saying, guys, this is our Bible. This is what we need to do. And it's literally like it's set up like a dummies book, but it's deep. Like if you think it's a dummies book, it's a dummies book. But if you think like, wow, this is a game changer in terms of how to think and how to do it, it actually works. You have to drink the Kool-Aid and work on it. So the way we worked it is we had an internal list from our CRM. We exported that. We did a mail merge into direct mail pieces. We used that list to upload that to our email system and email them. We took that list, threw it into LinkedIn, created an audience, and sent people messages. There's lots
Which
of ways.
list, Matthew? Which list?
This was our internal list. With
Oh, they
to
had
answer,
already a list of
yeah, I
clients.
already had
Okay.
it. To answer
Gotcha.
your question, the next step that I was going to do was to take my list and go to a data broker and say, right, here are all the people I want to get in front of by broken up our organization. Go find me all the others that are like this. Give me their first name, last name, email, work email address, phone number, all that stuff. Export it, give it to me. And then from there, once I have that data, then you intelligently market to them. And I think
Is that a website? Data
there's a
broker?
lot of data brokers out there. There's ZoomInfo, there's Epsilon, LinkedIn can do some stuff. I actually used Clay. Clay is actually really good. Clay.io or AI. Trying to think some of the others, but there's a lot of companies out there that'll get that data for you. You could even use AI. I mean, AI literally you say, here's my persona. You go into that and say, pretend I'm a marketing manager. I'm looking for blah, and you describe what the blah is. I'm looking for small. Talk about your business there. Heads of companies that are doing contracts with the government to fix their water pipes, right? Give me a list of all these people across America, and it'll
And
probably
then
give you a
AI
list.
can give you a list.
AI nowadays actually is pretty decent. Some of the models can actually give you a list of companies. Some of them will go deep and give you a list of the CEOs if it's crawlable. Um, some of them, if you connect it to Clay and some of these other third-party data systems, they can actually give you a list of everything you want and extrapolates and expand your data set.
What's the link? Clay.com? How do you?
I think it's clay.ai. Let me just double check.
This is kind of gold what you're kind
So
of
that
describing.
rabbit hole goes really deep, right, Matthew?
Yes, clay.com. Yeah. But the key
See,
with the
wait.
list
CLAY.com.
.com, right. But the key with the list, and this is like the real big nuance in this whole discussion is um a couple years ago, I think this was like when Facebook came out, there was this like spoof commercial that came out where um people were running around to the neighbors' yards with spray paint and spraying and painting on their walls. And they were like putting signs in their yards and all these crazy things. And people were like, what are they doing? And like, oh, they're writing on your wall and they're liking your plants and they're doing this and they're doing that. And it just was foreign. Now we've got AI doing that similar type thing where AI is being used by some organizations, unfortunately, in the wrong way, where they're putting messages out at such a frantic rate. They're reaching you on their phone, they're reaching you on email, they're reaching on social media, but their persona targeting is so poor and their message crafting is so awful that you look at it and you scratch your head and like, why would I ever do business with these people? So I think the whole caveat with this conversation is make sure your targeting is spot on. I like to talk to customers when I tell them about targeting. I like to say, like, think of it as a Venn diagram. You want to exclude everybody except for the people that you want to talk to. Like, get rid of everybody else. I don't want to talk to 99.999% of the world. I just want that, like, 5,000 people who are already willing able to buy and are on a target persona. Like, everybody else doesn't matter. You're just going to annoy them. Um, Classic examples in my LinkedIn, I get messages all the time from people saying, do you want to get more leads for Bits of Sunshine? Or do you want to get hire people for Bits of Sunshine? And I used to reply back to them like, this is my daughter's baking business. Like it's two teenage girls. I just set this up as a gift for them when they get older. They've got a LinkedIn business profile that they can take over and start their real business. And they've got 5 years experience with it. But that's bad targeting. That whoever set up that drip or not even drip that spray and pray campaign, they didn't check to see, oh, this is not a real like actual EIN type based legal business. This is a glorified cookie stand. They're making cookies like for people every once in a while. They're practicing, they're learning. So I think that's the big thing with marketing. People are like, oh, I want to do social media. Well, okay, what are you gonna do with it? Oh, I want to send ads out. Look, but who are you advertising to? Are you advertising to the right people? Are you advertising the right message? Are you advertising the right offer? Um, if not, then just don't do it. Going back to what you're saying, Gio, it's ABM. It's funny what people think about ABM. ABM used to be was very scientific. People would say, "I'm looking for example, heads of clouds for these particular companies of a certain stature, located in these particular countries, and I'm going to send a specific message on LinkedIn and email about how my software will help them work better." Make sense? I mean, it's very defined what I'm saying. But many companies I see that are doing ABM or any type of marketing nowadays, they're like, they just spray it to everybody. They don't even check to see, like, is this person even in my realm of possibility? Like, even a small business owner, I mean, you want to niche down really small. Like, if you're doing, doesn't matter what it is, cookies, lemonade, you've got a repair, fix a company, like, you don't want to go outside of your geo. You don't want someone calling you from 2 states over. Yeah, can you come fix my washer dryer? Like, it's that your marketing was worth it and worthless. It didn't work because now you're going too far.
Mm. So if we're right at the bottom of the half hour, Gio and Matthew. So Matthew, if you were to, I'm asking you to bottle up an entire
Right.
word in one or two sentences, but this is fascinating, and you're definitely going to have to come back. Uh, Speaking directly to small business owners now, and inside of the question, is your digital marketing strategy working for you or against you? What do you want to say as like you're ringing this six, you know, fire alarm, and you're saying, please do not do that. Here's the way to go. What would you say and to close us out?
I would say the first is educate yourself. I think that is golden. Too many people rely on things they read in magazines or newspapers or something, and they don't understand the background or the why. Or if you can't educate yourself, find a series of trusted people, 3 or 4 people, whatever it is, to educate you, get the information, understand what you're buying. I think the most painful thing is when I get a contract through an agency or whatever, and we're through someone else, they've done the sale, and I have to work with a customer who doesn't understand what they bought.
Mm,
And I have to educate them saying, so sorry, sir, or customer, dear ma'am, whatever you bought is not going to help you. Here's what I propose instead. This is going to be better for you. And it's painful. It's really hard because there's a lot of bad information out there. And it's hard to know what's good and what's not. As a small business owner, you have to be careful where you spend your money, how you spend your money, who's working on your accounts. It's so easy nowadays to get banned or blocked from different platforms just by doing stupid mistakes. You need to have all this stuff buttoned up. You need to know what is working, what is not, and that comes from great analytics and great data.
yeah.
So it's hard. It's very hard being a small biz.
Yeah. So if I'm hearing you correctly, is part of your call to action also uh, don't do it yourself, get a pro.
You can do it yourself. You are the most authentic, passionate component of your business. You know it better than anyone else. But there are some things that it might not be worth it.
Yeah.
Updating your website, unless you're a web designer, give it to somebody else. Putting an email blast out, maybe the first couple, sure, but then once you get too much business, probably outsource it.
Yeah. Yeah. Matthew, thank you.
Thank
Uh,
you.
I have one last question for you, right? And this is one that you and I discussed yesterday. You said, man, it's a zinger of a question to ask me, what is one thing about me that no one would ever know about me or find out from reading my profile on LinkedIn or anywhere else?
It's a great question. So I started my digital marketing business working for Dr. Roof. They were the largest roofing contractor in Atlanta. And I was the marketing guy. I did Yellow Page ads, which is kind of archaic now, but it still works. I updated their trucks. I did their contracts, making them look pretty. I did their website. I even found this crazy thing called Google Ads, and I built up a proposal and showed it to David Freelander and said, "Hey, what do you think?" And just the thought of someone paying per click, even though it was like 10 cents at that time, he was like, "Get off there immediately." And that was the end of my Google Ads experience for a couple of years until I moved to agency world. But it's amazing how far this all has changed.
Yeah, and it's the world you love, and I'm so excited that you are in that world. So grateful for your generous gift of your time and your expertise this morning. I think, not think, I know our audience is thinking now and going, wow, there is a big difference between posting online a whole bunch and actually creating a smart marketing campaign that will deliver results.
Yes, there is.
We're looking forward to having you back, Matthew. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Yeah, stay right here. We're going to close out the way we always do. The Daily Huddle is fond of sharing with the world these 8 tenets. Yes, we are business people, and we tell you, number one, love. Love the people you love to hate. Love yourself. Love the work you do, and love the people who help you do it. Love. The second tenet is laugh out loud. My God, if you're not laughing and you're taking life way too seriously, you're missing out on all of life. Life itself is a big joke, so you might as well laugh. Stress less. That's the third. And the fourth is eat mostly plant-based. I know, God, man, you know what my weakness is? I love bourbon and I love old fashions. And so, you put one in front of me, I'm going to fall and cave. But you know what? I make up for it by eating mostly plant-based. And I'm asking you to do the same thing. Eat mostly plant-based. Give everything you've got, your knowledge. What you think is proprietary and you should never share, go share that. Give. And what you get in return, you'll never know. It's miraculous. Sleep well, move your body, exercise, and last but not least, to quote my good friend, Dr. Monica Ogando, who hosts Spiritual Matters on Thursday right here, check your assumptions. Just when you think what you think is the truth, it might come to bite you in the butt. So check your assumptions. Relax, live, and have fun. This is your Daily Huddle for today. Matthew, thank you for being here. And all of you, thank you for your generous listening. Catch us on YouTube at The Daily Huddle. Until tomorrow, Tara will be here for communications and relationships. Make it a great day.
Forgot that was me.